Yes, some women will purposely play attractive men. There is that little percentage out there, okay? And they do this because they have some kind of, I don't want to use the word, but they have some kind of vendetta against men that are attractive and that are perceived to get a lot of women, okay? And I'm gonna go into this a little bit. And first of all, this is Tarik Talks. I am Tarik. You guys could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me and I appreciate it. So I know you asking yourself, wait a minute, if you're attractive, that should be the end of your problems, right? If you look like a Chad or a Tyrone, that should be the end of your problems, right? Here's how I know that a lot of men that feel like that have never really experienced interactions with women that much or enough. You feel what I'm saying? If you think that it's all gravy just because you are an attractive man, no, there are a percentage of young ladies that get a thrill. They get their kicks off of rejecting attractive men. Two kinds of females that do this, okay? Number one, the unattractive kind, and number two, the low self-esteem kind, okay? I'm gonna start off with the first one. The unattractive kind, okay? So the reason why they get a thrill off of rejecting attractive men or men that they perceive that get a lot of young ladies is because they are unattractive and they think in their head, deep down inside, this guy is going to reject me and I do not like him for that reason. I know it sounds fucked up. I know it's some of you guys are thinking like, that doesn't make too much sense. It is what it is. That's the reason. In their head, they're already thinking this guy is going to reject me. So I'm going to reject him first. Let me tell you guys something. Naturally, by nature, females are a bit more vain, right? If you don't believe me, why do you think makeup is so popular? You dig what I'm saying? Why do you think when you go in a clothing store, more than half of the clothing is for women, and then you got that little small tiny piece for men, right? Like if you go to Zara, for my guys that shop at Zara, super good place to shop at clothes, by the way. You'll notice the women's section is noticeably larger than the men's section. There's a reason. Women are somewhat vain and they just hate the fact that a dude will look better than them. Okay, some of them, not all of them, some of them. And these are women that know, not necessarily, I use the word unattractive, but they feel like the guy is out of their league. Okay, they feel like the guy is going to be harsh to them, or not harsh. They could have had an experience in the past where they tried out an attractive guy and he rejected them. And it didn't even have to be a harsh rejection, fellas. Let me tell you something. Men, we don't really reject harshly. Okay? We really don't reject harshly. If a man does reject a chick harshly, then he got some hoe tendencies. You feel what I'm saying? We don't reject chicks harshly unless they deserved it, unless for whatever reason she was wronging you or something like that. And even then, like I'm not even that type of guy to be harsh with a rejection. Okay? We don't do that type of stuff. So no matter how soft the rejection was, she took that shit to heart. She took it to heart, okay? And in her eyes now, she has to get some kind of payback. That's why you guys, you're on these dating websites. A lot of these young ladies on dating websites are these type of chicks. What type of chicks are they? The type of chicks that like to reject guys. That is why if you ever use the dating app ever in your life, you're going to notice that some chicks, and this happens a lot to attractive men, okay? There are chicks that will purposely start a convo and then flake off of it. They are doing this on, there's a plethora of reasons, right? Sometimes she met somebody cooler than you. Sometimes she might be on there just for shits and giggles, right? But the main reason chicks are on there is for validation. And what better type of guy to get validation off of is an attractive guy. And yes, attractive men before I get you incels on here that swear by dating apps. Yes, if you are attractive and you got yourself together, you will have a little more success rate on dating apps. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, but you can even ask those guys, the quote unquote attractive guys, they will get chicks that will purposely ghost them, will purposely stand them up, do malicious shit like that because they want to get a kick out of rejecting a dude. They want the right of refusal because deep down inside, they somewhat know that this guy, unfortunately, he's not looking for a relationship. Let's just keep it cut and dry, fellas, right? If a guy is somewhat, and I hate saying anyone is above anybody, but let's just be quite frank, okay? Let's say this guy, he's in great shape. He looks good. He's a good looking guy, okay? If he gets with a chick that's somewhat not in shape and, you know, doesn't really take care of herself as much as she should, she knows deep down inside that he probably only wants a fling type of deal. He's not looking for no marriage. He's not looking for a relationship. So what do? They reject him first. It makes them feel better, okay? Second is a chick with low self-esteem. Now, fellas, these two kind of intertwine. They're kind of one and the same to some extent, okay? But the one that has low self-esteem, this is pretty much a chick. She could be pretty. She can be pretty, okay? Don't get it twisted. This chick can be very attractive, and that's the root cause. She is very attractive, and she would hate the fact that a guy is getting just as much attention. She wants to be the center of attention. She does not like the fact that there's a guy that's attractive. So in her head, she's gonna automatically reject him first. Okay, she's gonna get shits and giggles out of rejecting him first. And like I said, these are not all young ladies, okay? I'm talking about chicks that have super low self-esteem. That no matter how pretty they is, no matter how beautiful people told them they is, they are going to view themselves as unattractive. That's why you see some of these chicks getting these BBLs, puffing the fuck up out their lips, right? Getting all type of surgeries, even though they're beautiful naturally. That is because they hate themselves deep down on the inside. And what's even worse is if a guy that is quote unquote attractive and he has good self-confidence in himself, she sees that he's, you know what I'm saying, outgoing. She sees that women flock to him. She is going to get a kick out of rejecting him, whether that be purposely getting his number and engaging with him and then ghosting. You feel me? Whether that's standing up, whether that's harshly rejecting him, okay? They get a kick out of that. They like seeing guys getting rejected because what does it do? It gives them a boost of the ego. It makes them feel better about themselves. And this is pretty shitty. It's like, let me explain it to you like this. Like, it's like what guys do, but on a more emotional level. Bullies in school, you feel me? The dudes that are bullies, you know what I'm saying? Males that are bullies, they have shitty self-esteem. They have low self-confidence. So what do? They bring down other people in order to make themselves feel better, right? That's why you get some guys that make smart ass comments, you feel what I'm saying? That constantly pick and bully people because they feel the only way that they're gonna feel better about themselves is if they see somebody else doing bad, right? So they're gonna hate on somebody for whatever little tiny reason because it makes them feel better. That is the same dynamic that you get with a young lady that is very attractive. And to make it worse, she's probably been played before in the past. The way that she got played is she probably thought that she was so attractive that she was immune to getting played, right? She's like, I'm so attractive, right? I could never get played by anyone. And guess what happens? She ended up getting played. She overvalued herself. Not saying that she was not good enough value, but in her head, she's like, oh, it's impossible for me to get played. Then at some point, she deals with a scumbag, right? And he ends up playing her, cheating on her, talking to other chicks. Now her self-esteem is destroyed. These chicks, here's what they do. They go out to clubs, right? You'll see a lot of this in the nightlife. You'll see these type of chicks. They'll be out in clubs, and guys that approach them, they are waiting to reject somebody. Now, I'm not saying they won't approve somebody, but for the most part, they're looking for a guy to reject. And sometimes it could be that attractive guy, right? They don't like the fact that he's attractive. And this is another thing too. Like, this happened to me at work a couple of times, okay? Chicks will say shit like, oh, who do you think you are? They will say stuff like that. Who you think you is? Right? Who you like if as soon as you let them know that you have some kind of standards, and you're not even particularly talking to them. You could just be like, that's not my type. Like, that's not my type of girl. Like, you could pick out a chick that's not necessarily your type, and they'll get offended. Like, oh, who you think you is? Like, they'll get mad that you have standards as a man, right? They'll try to knock you down a level. They'll try to make you feel like they want to bring you down. Okay, it all goes back to knocking you down a peg or two, because they don't like seeing a guy that's confident in himself. They show as hell don't like seeing a guy that is attractive, and they get a kick out of rejecting attractive guys. Yes, this does happen. Okay, this does happen. Like I said, it's not a huge percent. It's a small percent. There are cases. There's some malicious chicks out there that get a kick out of rejecting guys. Okay, so that's my video. Let me know if you guys could relate to this. Let me know if you guys had this experience before. Peace.